Hi, I'm the two-tip lady with tips to help make your life more simple. And I've got a question for you. Have you ever stayed awake at night because a phrase was going round and round and round and round in your head like a cracked record? I surely have. The other day I heard someone say something that did just that. You can't have happiness by chasing happiness. So that got my think tank working on overdrive. So now I want you to imagine that I've got a big handful of sawdust in my hand. What's sawdust? Sawdust is a byproduct. It's a byproduct of wood turning, isn't it? Sawdust is created as a consequence of the wood being chiselled, shaved or sawed. Well, I've come to the conclusion that happiness is a byproduct too. It's a byproduct of being healthy. And I'm thinking about health in 4 different areas of our life. If we're suffering with poor health, we probably don't feel too happy. If our relationships with family and friends are fractured, we don't usually feel too happy about it. If we're psychologically unhealthy, for example, if we say to ourselves, I can't do anything right, I'm too dumb, I'm absolutely stupid, I'm just no good, well, then we're not happy either. If we're full of guilt and shame and we're spiritually unhealthy, as a consequence, we don't feel happy either. So I reckon it makes sense to say, you can't be happy by chasing happiness, yes? So therefore, what do? Okay, we need to get healthy in those areas, physically, relationally, psychologically, spiritually. And when we're healthy, then we naturally find the happiness that might be eluding us at the moment. There are tons of ways to do a health check, but one simple thing I do is ask myself, am I doing what I know? So there's tip number 1. Am I doing what I know to be healthy? That makes me think. Am I doing the simple things? Drinking water, exercising, breathing in fresh, pure air, eating simple, wholesome food, getting out in the sunlight. Nothing better than growing fresh fruit for your body and flowers for your mind. Am I going to bed early enough to get good sleep? Am I enjoying some relaxation, and am I trusting in God's loving care for me? So am I doing what I know? Am I open to learning new ideas that might teach me about things I don't know? Do you think if I simply do the things I know, though, that physically I'm going to reap the rewards and find new happiness? Then how about I do a relationship check too? Am I holding grudges? Am I forgiving? Am I being kind? I remember once upon a time when a relationship was sour for me, and I was bemoaning the fact. And a lovely lady asked me a simple question. She simply said, are you being kind? Phew, that hit me right between the eyes. I knew I wasn't. And when I focused on being kind instead of critical, wowee, that relationship was transformed. It became a source of happiness. So what about a psychological check? Well, I'm no psychologist, but I've learned that I need to think about how I talk to myself. Oh, yes, indeed. It's okay to talk to yourself. When dear husband hears me sometimes exclaim, oh, I'm so silly. Oh, how dumb can I be? He says to me, hey, don't put yourself down. Words can destroy happiness or generate happiness, so let's focus on words that help us grow. Do you think then that our happiness will grow too? Then what about a spiritual health check? I ask myself again, am I doing what I know? Am I connecting with my Heavenly Father each morning, first thing? Am I waking up and surfing on my phone and forgetting that God is simply wanting me to be thankful that I've woken up and tell Him so, and that I want Him to walk with me through the day? Do I make some time for walking in nature every day, for looking for the beautiful things God has made? I'm reminded of the words of a song, oh, He walks with me and He talks with me and He tells me I am His own. What a way to think. Perhaps we need to apologise to someone. Then let's just do it. I've had to do that. Oh wow, it's sure made me a lot more careful about what I say, because apologising is super duper humbling. But the freedom and joy that comes is worth the embarrassment. It's more embarrassing to need to apologise than to refuse to be humble, really. We can walk and talk with God all day when busy with home, business, family and friends. And if we do these simple health checks, we will find happiness, guaranteed, because happiness is a byproduct of being healthy. Want tip number 2? Here it is. Am I doing what I know? The same tip as number 1. Why should it be different? Because that's a great tip. Am I doing what I know? This is an enormous key to being happy, because happiness is a natural byproduct of taking action on these simple health principles. Does this mean that we're never going to have health challenges in all these areas? No, we're not in a perfect world yet. But even with challenges in these areas, we'll have more smiles, love, laughter, joy and tons of happiness to share, guaranteed. That's it from the Two-Tip Lady today, who loves to help make your life more simple.